Hi friends, welcome to OCI Fundamentals for Beginners series. From this session, we are going to learn about OCI Compute Service. OCI Compute Service allows you to provision and manage compute instances for a wide variety of use cases. So now we will discuss about some brief points regarding the OCI Compute Service. There are basically two types of instances. One is virtual machine and the other is the bare metal, where you will get a whole physical server itself without sharing with any other tenants. In OCI you will get a wide choice of instances with different operating system images like Windows, Linux, and also other special images you can get from marketplace. Also you can bring your own customized images. You can scale up or down the instances horizontally or even vertically based upon the usage. By default, the data on instances is not persistent. To make it persistent, instances can store data into storage services like block storage, file storage, or object storages. You need to pay only for the time you are using an OCI instance. An OCI instance can be deployed across multiple regions and availability domains globally for fault tolerance and high availability. OCI instances are highly integrated with other OCI services such as storage, networking, databases, etc. And there is a facility to monitor the health of OCI instances with the help of OCI monitoring services. We have already mentioned that basically there are two different types of OCI instances. One is the bare metal instances and the second one is virtual machine type. So here we can see the basic differences between the both two types. In bare metal instances we will get the direct access to the physical servers. Here there will be no virtualization, and so for the same reason the performance will be very high. Here there will be no sharing between the hardware resources, so there will be complete isolation between the hardware physical servers. As there is no virtualization and sharing of the hardware resources, you will get full control over the OS and the hardware. This type of bare metal instances are ideal for situations like high performance computing, large databases, and custom hypervisors. In bare metal instances, as we have mentioned earlier, you are getting access to the full physical server, hardware server itself, without sharing with any other tenants. So for the same reason, the cost will be also high due to the dedicated resources you are getting. Now regarding the virtual machines, the virtualized instances run with the help of a virtualization environment, hypervisors. Okay, and for the same reason, these virtualized instances share the physical servers. So the tenants are sharing the hardware, backend hardware physical servers between multiple other tenants. Here also you will get good performance, but with some virtualization overhead. As we have mentioned earlier, here the tenants share the same backend physical hardware with the help of some virtualization technology and with some logical isolation. But the backend they will share will be the same hardware between other tenants. In bare metal instances, there will be a lot more customization options a tenant will get. But here in this case, in the virtual machine, it is very restricted. As you are sharing the hardware between other tenants, the cost will be very less when compared to the bare metal instances, and it is a very cost-effective option for a large number of use cases, and it is also very highly scalable. This type of virtual machines are suitable for scenarios like launching web servers, application servers, and other general purpose applications. So compute shapes is actually a template that defines the number of CPUs or OCPUs in the case of OCI and the amount of memory network bandwidth for a virtual machine or for a bare metal instance. OCPU means one OCPU is equivalent to one physical core. That means it contains two hardware execution threads. That is vCPU. Two hardware execution threads means it contains two virtual CPUs. So if we compare it with a AWS instance that contains 2 vCPU, then that instance is equal to an OCI instance with 1 OCPU. Okay, so that's how it is relatable, the OCPU and the normal vCPU. And more CPU OCPUs. When we add more OCPUs to an instance, we will get more memory. We can increase the network bandwidth and disk I/O. So there are basically 4 different shapes for virtual machines and bare metal instances. The first one is the standard type. It is basically mainly used for general purpose workloads. It has a balanced performance between compute, memory and network resources. In our lab also, we will be mainly using this general purpose type of virtual machines. The dense I/O type of instances are basically used for applications that demand high I/O throughputs, such as large databases. This dense I/O has a locally attached NVMe or SSD storage that provides this high I/O throughputs for these type of instances. The GPU instances are basically used for high performance computing, AI, ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning requirements, and other graphics intensive applications. The last shape is the flexible shapes, and nowadays it is becoming very popular because in this flexible shape we can customize the number of OCPU and the amount of memory we require independently. So these are the basic classification and some brief idea about the compute shapes in OCI. So here I have given some examples of some standard virtual machine shapes. This image I have taken from the Oracle documentation page itself. I will give the link in the description section. Okay, so when we launch a virtual machine, it is highly dependent upon our use case. So we need to make an idea first how much RAM, CPU and bandwidth, these all things we required for our use case. Okay, so depends upon that we can choose what type of instance that best fit to our scenario or use case. So for example, in this standard list of shapes, I have only shown few of the shapes here. For example, the first one, the BM standard 3 shape, it contains 64 OCPUs, memory 1024 gigabits, and the local disk type supporting is block storage, and the maximum memory bandwidth you will get is 250 gigabits, and the number of maximum virtual network interface card supporting is 256, like that. So you will get all these informations from the Oracle documentation page itself for all the shapes that is available. Depends upon that you can select the shape at the time of launching an instance.